Tuesday and welcome to the Connectable podcast. Josh is not here, so
we can cuss and we just have to tell his mom not to listen.
So anyway, this is Deb and we are here today. We have a special guest from LogOff Brewing. Kenny Terry, thank you for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hello, yeah. And we have you're going to hear two other voices also. We have two special co-hosts with us today, Caylee and Nicole. Say hi.
Hi.
So we have four voices today. There's no YouTube video recording today because I thought it would be a giant ass mess having all four of us in one screen because we're all hanging out at my apartment. So there you go.
Partaking in LogOff beer, of course.
Of course. Okay, cheers. Let's do a cheers before we get started or before we start. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so we're all drinking beer, obviously, because this episode is...
I'm drinking seltzer.
It's made at the brewery.
Of course, the head brewer is drinking seltzer and not beer. So, okay, so before we get started, so Kenny, I just want to tell the audience how we're connected. So, because that's what our podcast is called, is Connectable. So, way back, how many years ago did we start going to LogOff?
It was probably it was right after they opened, because they opened in June, and I want to say like October, November is when I started
working there.
Okay,
yeah, we got tired
of 2020, right?
Yeah, of the other two breweries that we were partaking
COVID.
in.
Okay,
so then we found LogOff, and then
during COVID, we all we're brew hopping, and then we discovered LogOff Brewing Company. It's here in Rancho Cordova.
Sneak us in.
They
have all the rules.
Yeah. Businesses were supposed to be closed, but anyway,
it's fine.
We did the food.
Yeah. Yep, there was food. Yeah, and then we were outside and everything. So anyway, so we started going there and we just haven't stopped. So that's how we're connected to you. So anyway, so just give us like a little bit about information about yourself. How did you get started there, and what made you want to start brewing? Like, how did that all start? Just basically start from the day you were born
to the beginning,
to this very moment.
This would be a 12-hour podcast, right?
Yeah. What made you start what made you start with beer? Like, how did that start?
Let's start with LogOff.
Then
what
you want?
Absolutely. Whatever you want. Absolutely
wrong.
So LogOff. All right, I'll start a little bit before that. 2018 October, I moved from San Diego. I lived in San Diego for 12 years. I grew up in Northern California. Went to school. Was like, I'm gonna stay down here forever. Stayed down there for 12 years. My wife and I want to start a family, so we came back home, did the whole domesticating thing, as one does. In 2018, very quickly found a job. So basically, now I need to go even further back.
Do it.
Went to school for mechanical engineering. Didn't really do anything with that ever.
Love it.
Owned a business for 10 years. I ran beer pong tournaments at various venues in San Diego.
Oh, the beer pong thing, that's right.
Beer pong business. Sold that, moved up here. Basically moving from San Diego to Northern California gave me an opportunity to kind of do whatever I wanted. So I used that opportunity to get into the beer business. So I started at Old Republic, which is now Movement.
Which is technically the beverage that you're drinking.
That's what I'm drinking. That's what I have right now.
Yes.
So really quick.
They brew like pretty okay stuff.
He kind of sort of like the brewer though. He's like
it's fine. It's actually pretty good. Worked there for a little bit. They shut down. Went to New Helvetia, which is in downtown Sacramento.
They did?
No, he did.
Oh, you did. Okay, sorry.
I left. New Helvetia is still around. They're going to be celebrating their 11th anniversary Black Friday coming up.
Nice. Very cool.
But lost that job due to COVID, and was unemployed 3 days after I got my keys to my current house. So that was a stressful time. And then basically, I think so. LogOff opened in June of 2020. I think I was bugging those guys since October of 2019. Basically, like, hire me, I want to work with you guys, hire me. Before they even had like brewing equipment in there, like I was like, come by, like, hey, what's up? So finally bugged them enough to where they hired me in December of 2020.
Wow.
Officially.
Do you remember going in and playing trivia and him and Kat were our bartenders?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Kenny back there. And I remember the whole transition of you being the head brewer too. All that. I remember when you were starting to like play around back there.
Yeah.
And start making stuff and bringing it out to us. And
No,
saying, hey,
do you
try
remember
this.
when he would? Yeah, he would bring us his
he'd bring his homebrew. That's what it was.
Delicious.
Okay, I want to talk about the home.
Yes. Oh, your cookies and cream was delicious.
I do remember that.
Yes.
Cucumber chili.
Okay, so
cucumber chili, cookies and cream, and decadent as fuck.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
those
No,
are
the cookies and cream was where I was like, oh wow, he like really knows what he's doing.
Did you bring? Now you made those at home. Did you bring them? I can't remember. Did you bring them to LogOff and start actually? Did you officially make those back there too,
Yes,
or did you
that's
just?
cookies and cream at LogOff?
I know.
Cookies and cream sold really
cookies
well.
and cream actually did so well.
It
It was the coffee. No, it was coffee that sucked.
No.
Coffee and cream ale was the one that
One
didn't sell.
more, right? Because it was the cookies got stuck.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Oh, see, I remember it was good and then it wouldn't pour, so that's why I was giving you shit.
It's fucking great.
It was fantastic.
It
Nice.
was delicious.
How did you know? Like, how do you make beer at home? Like, how do you know how to do that? Like, how do you get recipes? Like, how do you start? doing that?
Tell us about
Why
that.
did you start that?
Yes, why did you start that?
I feel like they know something that I don't.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of trial and error, lots of error. I started brewing when I was 19 because I couldn't buy it.
Oh, nice.
But I could buy all the ingredients and make it legally.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that's.
I think you can legally consume it. I don't know. There's something with
And
it.
how
Yes.
good or good wasn't
Oh,
good?
completely awful.
And you were
I feel,
19.
yeah.
Oh.
I feel like I have certain immunities to diseases. But I'm ingesting some of those early brews.
That's so
But
fun.
every once in a while, we brewed one. I was like, holy shit, like this is pretty terrible, but like drinkable.
Wow.
And then many moons go by. I meet my now wife, and she's like, you need a hobby other than video games. So I was like, well, I like drinking beer. And I used to brew beer, so she's like, "Okay, just start brewing beer." And I think she regrets that.
I know she loves it because she's got all the
God,
beer.
that's so funny.
But I got back into it and then started like taking it seriously, and started brewing okay stuff.
Yeah. Did you notice a
It was
difference? Well,
delicious.
Well,
yes.
yeah. When you brought it to us, I remember it's obviously really good. But did you notice a difference between the 19-year-old Kenny versus the now Kenny like brewing?
Yeah,
at home?
I don't
Like, what
think it-
differences did you make, or what did you do
It
different?
wasn't poison anymore. Like that was pretty cool. It was so. All right, one example. It's a pretty funny story. If the millions of listeners are
Yes,
familiar
millions.
with brewing, we
I love that you said millions of listeners. By
Yes.
the way, that's
We have
great.
a
wait, there isn't.
We do. Yes, we have millions. Yes,
Okay,
keep
that's what I
going.
thought. Okay. So you at home you like rehydrate your yeast. So basically you want like warm water, you pour the dry yeast, so it's similar to like baking. You use like a dry yeast, and you rehydrate it to kind of get them active, get them ready to start doing some work by chewing up the sugars in the wort and creating alcohol and CO2. Now we kind of skipped a step, so we had cold water. So we would put the yeast in the cold water and then throw them in the microwave for 10 seconds to try to heat up that water. And yeast is like a living thing. So like we just put a living thing through the microwave and just
Looks like it should
completely like mutilated it.
be glowing green right now.
Easy bake brewing.
Again,
Big brewing.
the biggest improvement in my brewing has been not creating poison.
Oh my God. I love that.
It's so cool though. I mean,
Oh
just
my God.
watching him brew now and the huge scale that he does. To see his brain, and then when all of his other geek brewers come in and they talk, and it's like the words that they use in water. What do you say? Your water what?
Water
When you talk about water
profile.
profiles and all, it's right. It's like mind blowing.
Wow.
Yeah, they're total little chemists.
How long does it take to, I don't even like, okay, well, we went to Europe. So Caylee, Nicole and I, we went on that Europe trip a few years ago. So we toured the brew. Do I remember what they told us? Hell
No, we were.
Oh no!
So,
If we went again and now with watching him, I would
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay. Before it was like, oh my
So-
God, can we just drink the beer?
yeah.
Now it like totally makes sense. Like watching the videos
Yeah.
over of all their talking, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So just for our listeners, well, Nicole and Caylee are here because they work at LogOff as well. So that's why they're my co-hosts, so they can help guide questions and tell
Yes.
stories like this. But yeah,
They're my support meetings.
your support system at the brewery. Yeah.
For emotional support.
We're there
Do-
for emotion, and we have to drink all of the process. Like it's
Yeah.
something that we get to drink the wort, which is sugar
My
water.
favorite part,
Yeah.
The sugar water.
Oh,
dude.
it's so good.
Fire. Come in on a brew day and just drink a glass of sugar water.
It's so
It's
good.
fucking amazing.
So how long, what is the process like? How long does it take? Like just take us through like if they were like making beer for dummies, like book. So like shorthand notes, like what is it like?
What are your cliff notes?
What are your cliff notes on what and how you guys do that?
How cliff notes.
However you want. 19-year-old.
Okay.
19-year-old Kenny cliff notes.
I create sugar water and then move that into a fermenter, add yeast. The yeast consumes those sugars, creates alcohol and CO2.
And that's what
The
makes
whole
it
process takes about 3 weeks
Wow.
from start to finish. For a lager, about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, question.
That's like the super cliff notes. I could,
Yeah.
So you do
Yeah.
he does the little mill and it does the grain and it makes the sugar water and then you put it in the fermenter and then you add the yeast and that's when it bubbles in the thing.
Mhm.
Okay. And then when it's done bubbling is when your yeast is done working. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then how do you make the hazy? How do you make the blonde? Like what?
Right. So for the hazies, we add quite a bit of adjuncts. So I use a lot of oats and wheat. Adds a lot of proteins. I also lower the pH. Now we're getting a little technical. I also add a lot of hops
Mhm.
during a cool pool. So hazies, there's actually, despite them being very lazy in the name, there's a lot going on to make them hazy. Also, you use lower flocculating yeast. So the yeast doesn't want to drop out as much, so it kind of stays in suspension. So it's like a hazy.
Yeah.
See?
Say that
We're-
word again.
And
Say
they,
that
and
word
they
again.
all talk about this stuff.
Flocculating.
Flocculating.
We're all
You can have your pinkies up for that.
Nicole, Caylee, and I are all looking at each other like, I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Like 6 of them talking in this code
That's
and you're
so
like,
funny.
what are they saying?
Wait, so
Okay.
now that since we're talking about hazies, that's selfishly I'm asking because that's my favorite type of beer.
Mhm.
So when we went to Europe, they don't have hazies over there.
Mhm.
Well, I don't remember why. I don't know. Do you know why?
Because it's their haze used to be looked down upon. Basically, you always want a clear beer, and if you had hazy beer, it's because you've been doing a good job.
You did something wrong, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why that's why ours is called lazy hazy or hazy
Mhm.
lazy days.
That's interesting.
But actually I went in June to the Netherlands and Belgium, and
He
half,
did our tour.
Yeah, oh, nice.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And like half their board was hazies.
What?
and West Coast IPAs.
So when
they totally changed.
Yeah, they didn't have it there.
Yeah, they totally changed. But they're not
Interesting.
even close to like our level of doing them. So
Was it, you tried it, were they okay?
they
good?
were fine. It's just like you could tell they probably use like 25% of the hops and ingredients that we use.
Interesting. And then do you guys remember the like low sugar beer that they had there too?
Dude.
Oh,
Was okay, so when you went there,
so
did
good.
you, well, I know,
Did.
Oh,
He
did-
went to the L one,
Remember?
lamb, whatever with
I don't
the,
remember it.
yeah, he said it was good.
Difference?
maybe they changed, maybe they fixed it, because when we had it and they were all like raving about it, like, oh, we're gonna bring this to America and they're gonna love it, and we were like gagging, like
I think
cute,
it was a
like
different beer than you
it
were
was
talking
so gross.
Oh,
sorry,
no,
no.
Timberman's was good.
Oh.
That was the cherry beer.
Okay.
We did the one that started with the L, and that was,
It just,
Liebman's?
I mean, it just tasted like
Oh,
apple
really?
cider vinegar, like
Yeah, it was-
straight apple cider
Oh,
vinegar.
Like
It
we
was-
all, he had a fantastic story.
Oh, it was
and
great.
his brew like
You're like, you're all
spiel
over their
was
shit.
amazing. It was we were so excited to try this beer,
Oh,
and then we tried it and we're like, no, and then we gave it to Jim because he hadn't tried it yet, and we're like, come on, and he was like, it's gonna be great, and he tried it and he was like, he couldn't even.
It was
he
so
couldn't
bad.
defend it.
Well, it was so bad that we were taking videos of each other trying it for the first time, and we're like, "Why are you videoing me?" Like, just wait. And so we're
Look at
videoing
yourself.
Wait.
Yeah,
I talked in mine because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what the, yeah, it was disgusting.
so like, and different countries make different everything,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Everything is different, everything. So, yeah. So do you? I mean, we're just accustomed to, I guess, how our beer tastes versus
Yeah,
theirs. Was
we're
there?
spoiled.
Well, yeah. Well, was there any beer that you tried over there that you were like, this is really good and I want to bring this back here? Or did you get any ideas from being in the Netherlands and in Belgium?
That's a good question. I was overall pretty underwhelmed with the food and the beer, but my wife is not a big beer drinker, so like I tried to limit my exposure to like maybe one a day kind of thing. I did very much enjoy Blanche de Bruges. It was a wit beer from Bruges, a very pretty town.
Bruges, yeah, we
I
went
think
there.
we've all
It's
been
beautiful
there.
there.
Yeah, it's like literally being in like a fairy tale.
Oh, that was the one that we thought.
Cobblestone
Yeah,
roads and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, we loved that place.
We thought we were at, what was the Disney movie?
It felt like Disneyland. Oh, like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
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 that's
it's
what we
so,
felt like we
so
were-
cute
yeah.
there.
But I really like that beer. It was
Yeah.
like one.
Yeah.
So I did bring that back, and actually I brewed Blanche de Rancho.
And it is delicious.
Do you still have it? Is it there right now?
Yeah.
It's there right
Oh,
now.
I gotta try it.
It's
know.
pretty new too. It just
It's
came
good.
out.
What-
It's really good.
Technically, what beer says like a blonde? Is it like a, what did you say it already?
It's a wit beer, so it's kind of like a Hefeweizen.
Oh, okay.
So it's a
But, okay, question. So, a Hefeweizen has, and I know it's from the grain and all that good stuff, but it has that banana. How come the wit beer doesn't have, it has more of a
so
clove versus banana?
yeah. So I mean it's good. It's gotta get technical, but I fermented lower to basically get more of that flavor profile.
So you want,
Instead of the ester is kind of more of the banana.
okay,
The phenolic is more of the clove,
Okay.
spicy.
okay.
So,
Cause it has, like, you can taste like a normal hef, you get like that banana fun.
Yeah.
Where this one you taste, it's good. I love it. He's being way too hard on himself. I think it's delicious. But it does have more, it's fine. It has like a more
For
of a clove
everything.
taste.
Yeah.
But if you were, could you mess with the
Mhm.
degrees and get more banana versus? Cause that would be the only thing, if it had a little bit of a banana hint, but other than that, it's good. It's really good. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you been to any other countries to taste the beer besides the Netherlands?
Australia.
Really?
When did you go to Australia?
Why wasn't
I know, why do we not
This
know
is
of
before I
this?
knew you.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
rude.
oh, you're off the.
That's
Yeah.
rude.
Not allowed. 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Tried the beer, it was fine.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. I also wasn't brewing at this point. It was just having a blast
Nice.
in another country.
Where
It's
were
my
you
first time
from?
out of the country. I went for a wedding.
Oh.
You like to have people that marry abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to
Very,
Europe for a wedding too.
Why aren't we invited? We want to go. I love going to weddings.
Let's go. Let's get married.
Let's get married.
Caylee, it's your turn. We've all done it.
Exactly.
I'll do a destination wedding. That's something I wanted to
Yeah.
do, but I'm doing like beach.
We could do Australian beach.
Let's do like a
I'm doing
Thailand
like
beach or
tropical.
something.
Thailand beach.
I'm doing like some tropical.
Like the classic Mexico.
No,
Mexico.
not Hawaii, you
Jamaica?
need to go further. Yes,
Somewhere a little further. Somewhere.
Jamaica's
We're supposed to
beautiful.
go to
Madagascar.
Jamaica.
yes, I know.
Make it happen, bitch.
Oh,
What kind of you do collaborations all the time.
They're
You
so
guys do.
fun.
Okay, so tell us about the collaborations that you do with, because Rancho Cordova, this is a total like microbrewery area. Like there's so many, like when
You're very fortunate.
I've been
Yes.
living here, how long have I been living here, Nicole? I've been here for like 6 years now,
Alright,
and
I'm gonna make you.
It's hard
yeah,
to talk enough.
we're
Okay,
refilling.
we're
We're
refilling
refilling.
glasses.
Let's take a break to
I don't-
tell us about our sponsors.
Log off brewing.
Log off. Wanna be a sponsor?
Sunrise.
Do you wanna be-
Great Park Forward.
Do you guys want to be our first sponsor?
Yes,
We'll do ads for you.
I mean, what, couple $1,000 an episode, or what are you thinking?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
You give me $1,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, You get some, I get some.
I got, yeah, exactly.
um,
For our millions of followers. That's
We'll
a
get
deal.
these guys some pretty.
We'll shake on it. Yes. Look,
Sponsors.
Kenny,
Yeah.
everyone look.
Log
Everyone
off.
watch. We're shaking on it. And
You
you guys. Okay, I know. No video, but Nicole and Caylee saw it. We shook on it. Okay.
Witness.
First sponsor.
Matthew, we're holding
Um,
you to that.
So what brew, and for those, and our listeners are mostly Sacramento based. We do have listeners like out of state. We have a few out of the country actually that listen.
Let's go.
Yeah, but if anyone's in the Sacramento
Beautiful.
area or want to come to the Sacramento area, obviously go to LogOff. They're amazing. But what other breweries
There's
do
a whole
you?
lot of other breweries that
Yeah.
are much better.
Oh, shut up. No, well, we're part of the Barrel District. So,
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
we've
yeah, we'll
got
tell-
the 5.
Tell us about the Barrel District.
We have 5 breweries, a kombucha, a winery, 2 distilleries, and a mead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're all within like
We're all on the same street.
straight, yeah, we're on the same street. So, and they're all very good breweries. Like they're all fun. They all have a different.
They all have a
vibe.
very different vibe,
Very
which I think
different
is
vibe.
really cool. We were just talking about that earlier today. How you can go into any brewery in the Barrel District and it is a completely different vibe from the one a minute
next
down the
door.
road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
How often do you guys collab? Because when I've gone into LogOff before, I've seen like they're in there. The people at Movement are in there. The people like our Movement, you guys is always but Tommy's always in there. But like, we know Tommy. But like
Is
how
Tommy a
often?
listener?
I don't know.
We can make
We'll have to,
them
yeah,
Will be
he's
now.
going to be now. Yeah, we'll be like, we mentioned you, and he'll
You
be like,
need
"Oh."
to listen to us, Tommy.
Yeah. We gave your brew. We'll tell them we gave your Movement a.
Well, you want to hear a funny?
Yeah.
So we were at Movement
A
for
funny.
their anniversary.
Oh yeah. last week.
And we were listening to the band and the band was like, yeah, Movement. And they were talking about all the fun stuff that was going on. And thank you guys for having us here and blah, blah, blah. And thank you to the brewer. Well, they were pointing at the guy that was making the t-shirts. And
Oh.
of course, my idiot friends are in the front and my daughter screaming, Tom, because Tommy's behind us. And they're like, Tommy's the brewer. And I was just like, oh my God.
Jessica for like 5 minutes straight was like, Mommy.
And they're like,
This is like, I don't care.
Boy, hat was not having it though.
That's funny.
it was funny.
It's the funniest when at concerts when the artist gets things messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Well, no, I was at an All American Rejects concert last Friday in Mountain View, and the opener kept saying San Francisco. We love.
Nope.
Oh yeah, kept calling us San Francisco, and I was dying laughing. It was probably the best part of the show.
When they
Anyway,
mess up.
yeah, right. But
That's good.
but you guys collaborate all the time. So how does that go? Do you guys bring different ideas to
Yeah,
or
try to. We haven't done a ton. I think since I've been brewer, So I've been professionally brewing for about a year.
Mhm.
We've done like a half dozen collabs, something like that.
Nice.
Always down to do more. It's really fun. We get honest. I mean, it's in the word or it's in the name, but like we get to collaborate. Best part is like kind of going to another location, seeing how they do things.
Mhm.
Because we're all learning constantly. No matter it's your first year doing it or if it's your 10th year doing it. We're all learning, so it's like, interesting to see like, oh, that's how you do that process that we do as well.
Mhm.
Never thought about doing it that way. So it's a cool opportunity to learn and and have fun and collaborate. Really,
I think that's so great because no one's like gatekeeping, right? Like no one's like, I'm not showing you how to do that. Like, I mean, unless someone is, but like it sounds like
There-
everyone's just trying to better and everyone's trying to like learn from each other
It's,
and make the community a better beer community.
it's unique to certain areas. I've heard that other areas are not like that, but
Yeah.
Sacramento is definitely like that. I've in my homebrewing days, I've hit up breweries. I'm like, hey, you have one of my favorite beers of all time. Could you give me any hints at like how to do it? And they're like, they'll email back like, here's the exact recipe.
Wow.
Here's
Yeah, really cool.
mash temps. Here's the yeast that we use. Here's all the ingredients. Like have fun.
Wow.
So it's I look at that and I want to pass that on. So if there's any homebrewers that come in and ask questions, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna be the
We
gatekeeper of like,
actually just did a collab with the home brew group.
Really?
So
Good
beer enthusiasts.
Sacramento beer
Sacramento
enthusiasts.
enthusiasts, yeah.
They don't really homebrew, but
don't?
no, they like to drink beer.
Oh,
I think some of them do homebrew.
homebrew because the one dude,
Sam's like a legit brewer,
Mhm.
but the others, like I think they just enjoy drinking beer.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
It's a
came in
Facebook
and
group.
they're so funny. Yeah, they came in and that's the one when we had to vote for who was the best brewery.
Oh.
Remember when
We were in Europe and we rigged it.
On Facebook, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
vote.
that's the
Oh,
group.
that's hilarious.
We
I
did.
love that.
Yes,
Huh?
we did win.
And we went, yeah,
won
log
that.
off one, yes.
Yeah.
It was a team effort.
It was.
Yeah,
It
a
was
community
absolutely.
effort.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Mhm.
cool that everyone is open to sharing. Here's here, like you said, here's the recipe and how you guys are doing the same because that's not going to detract customers away from.
No, it's
Your
all
place.
ships rise.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
offer better beer, more people are gonna get into the
Well,
beer.
people will come in and say, oh, I just went to your competition. It's like, oh, God, no, those are not our competition.
Yeah,
Those are
no.
our friends. Like, yeah, it's
Well,
not.
that's why I like, I have no problem even being like, we go to Movement, we go to
Yeah.
Burning Barrel, we go to LogOff.
How dare you?
There, I go to
As if we
Movement.
didn't go to
Yeah.
Movement
Yeah.
and Burning Barrel on our way here.
I love that.
And it's so fun to go in and
Yeah.
see your customers. What are you guys doing here? And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm drinking so much. So,
Yeah. We're
we
not-
all, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just interesting just because, well, and I don't know how businesses like that work, especially in the, in the beer world, but I did know that you guys, a long time ago, I knew that you guys were collaborating, just, well, evidence of Tommy and everyone else always being in the, in LogOff, so.
Mhm.
But that's really cool that you guys, everyone's a community and everyone can just,
It's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, could you imagine being in a beer community where everyone's like, nope, don't talk to me, I'm not giving you anything, like,
I cannot. I wouldn't want to be.
and I
And I
imagine.
think it hurts the customers.
And it hurts the community too. Yeah, and then people talk and people know everything and
Oh.
like, then people kind of sense the tension and like, I don't want to go into a brewery where they're like that either, like.
No, they learn
Yeah.
so much from each other. I mean, when they start talking shop and about what degrees and
Mhm.
whatever the hell thing they put in stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah.
But I like even, not obviously not only in LogOff, but the other, breweries, I like going in and literally every time I'm in any brewery around here in Rancho, someone else from a different brewery comes in and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? And like everyone, you're all friends with each other.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows each other. And that
sure.
creates a sense of community and it
Yeah.
creates a sense of like, you just feel like you're at home.
Well,
Yeah.
I like to think that we're kind of like a modern day pub.
Yeah.
All of us. So like,
Yeah.
it's a place where people can come and relax and meet with
Yeah.
friends and whatnot. So
Yeah.
And I think that's all the breweries and interchangeable, so.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps, the customers coming back too. How do you create how do you create beer? Like the recipes, like how do you come up with, I look at your guys' menu. Remember I wrote that sign that one time.
Yes.
Nicole put me to task and I wrote a sign one time. That was fun. But like, how do you,
Yes.
I did, which one?
Frankenpoodle.
The Frankenpoodle, yeah. How do you even come up with the flavors and all of that? Is that just like a collective collaboration and your solo ideas and then looking up stuff online? Like, how do you come up with that?
Have you heard of Chat GPT?
Yes. I'm a teacher, duh. Actually, you know who told me about Chat GPT?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie loves it.
Jamie, yeah. Jamie was on.
That's gotta be
this, like, a
running
while ago.
rampant through
Oh.
school.
Huh?
It's gonna be running rampant through like schools.
How do you going, yeah.
Well, so I'm PE, so we don't do.
You don't deal with
I don't deal with
I
papers
discussed
and
with
written
Chat-
essays and stuff. Thankfully, I just
Or
get.
English.
I know, I don't know.
I mean, I'm actually still in school. They run every paper, every discussion post through a fucking thing that detects chat
Really? Okay, so
Oh, they have a thing now. that
Yeah,
will tell
it
you.
detects it.
Oh,
so for our listeners,
Usually-
chat. I need to explain chat. Chat is GPT.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. It's in my browser. Jamie put it in there for me. I can't remember. So I just type in chat. Chat GPT is basically like an AI that you can basically talk to it, type to it, say, hey, I need a well thought out note about this idea, and then boom, it like
You
types
can
you
even
a
say like,
perfect thing.
I need an essay written by a 10-year-old.
Oh my
And it
God.
fucking
yeah.
does it. It's
Yeah,
insane.
so like it'll have spelling errors and stuff. Yeah.
Well, and we get fun stuff like trying to get designs. Okay, so we made a wit beer. And we
Mhm.
need to figure out what we want our picture to be. So we mess with it and
Wow.
kind of play around with, well, like broken heart.
Or it's another hazy.
Yeah. And we
That
just,
was-
that was fun.
We need a picture for this beer in 2 hours.
Yeah, and yeah, so
Really?
it'll
We
make.
got it in 2
It
minutes.
just so it makes pictures
it
too.
does
Oh, yeah.
everything. It's really
Mid
joking.
journey is what I use for the picture stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different.
Same
Okay,
idea.
so our other sponsor, Chat GPT, to sponsor us, will shout you out. But
Yeah, that's how I make all my beer. And then yeah, sometimes it's I go to other breweries, try their beers. I like something, and I'm like, oh, I want to try to create this myself. Other times I go to Europe and have a beer. I'm like, all right, that was pretty cool. I'd love to be able to bring that back. And other times, one of our recent beers is called OK Shakespeare.
It's
We
really good.
we had an email saying like, hey, we're really unsatisfied with the route you're going with all your IPAs.
oh,
We'd really love to see an English dark mild. So I said, fuck it. And,
wow.
I've never had one before. My
Taste one before you made it, or you just
no.
you just made it?
It's fire.
It's so good.
You just
It
made
is-
it, and it's
It
perfect.
is a good. I mean, it's
Wow.
a good seller. Like it's.
So my process for that is, I Google, English dark mild, and then I'll pull up like 10 recipes, or I'll Google, I'll pull up 3 recipes. I'll look at award winners from years past. I'll pull up those recipes
People
Yeah.
post the full recipe.
sometimes.
Oh,
And basically I'll like cross-reference like 20 recipes, and I'll have like my knowledge of what I like in like grain and hops and yeast, and then I'll kind of look at all of them. I'll see what's similar, I'll see what's different, and then I'll kind of like knock them out and then build out my recipe that way. And yeah, I've never had one before, but I think mine's like okay.
it's delicious. You need to come in and
Crazy.
taste the board. We have
Yes.
20.
I actually do enjoy
22.
the grain.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
That's crazy. I love how you're like, I've never tried that type of beer, and I just made it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Send it. Like, let's do
We'll
it.
do it. We'll figure
Was
it
that
out.
customer satisfied? Did they write it?
I don't know.
I
They fucking better be.
So if you're listening and you're the one who wrote that,
Yes.
please, you know,
Yeah.
just
Come in and drink.
Tell me it's terrible,
Created for
actually.
you.
Welcome.
okay. But speaking of terrible, have you ever created a beer and you're like, this is no, and like you just kind of dump the whole thing?
Aside from like poisonous 19-year-old.
Yeah,
death.
no.
I
I'm
was
talking
gonna
about
say-
log off like in the big barrels, like have you ever-
You know, I mean, it'll happen, but like not at a log off yet.
No,
Mhm.
on
Knock on
some
wood.
fucking wood.
Right.
Nah, it's fine. Yeah,
It happens though. So
yeah, shit can go awry. There's a lot of like, you know, like biology and chemistry and a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And shit can go weird.
Now, if can you like fix the beer? Like, let's say it's done, and then you try it. Can you fix it? Can you like add stuff to it?
Sometimes.
Fart beer.
What?
So
Say what?
she
Uh,
calls
Nicole knows
off gassing the
Dude.
beer, farting it.
Fart beer.
What is that?
watch the rancho, which actually she likes.
It's delicious.
It was a little sulfury,
Oh no.
but sulfur is a volatile gas.
Mhm.
So I was able to add some copper sulfate, which
Mm.
basically
He's trying
I'm
to,
trying to like
Going all over the place right now.
it
trying to
like
dumb it down for us.
yeah, I'm trying to. It does magic,
Yeah.
and then but then I basically run CO2 through the beer, which basically like bubbles it through, and within 15 minutes was able to like off gas that beer.
Wow.
So all that sulfate is gone.
But when he off gases it, the entire brew house smells like farts.
Oh, because it comes out.
Yes.
Okay,
Smells
that's
like
okay.
rotten eggs.
It's like
People-
little
It's
burp.
amazing.
So if
Yeah.
I walk in and that's how it
Smells like
log off
farts.
smells
Well,
like,
if
I'll
you go
just
to
know.
movement and it smells like farts, it's because
No,
Tommy has
hang
off
on.
gas. Yeah.
Oh, no. Not at movement, at burning barrel.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's
They
what that
off gas.
smell is.
Yes.
I swear to God, the past like 10 times I've gone in, I'm like, what is that smell? Okay, now that makes sense. Well, I figured it had something to do with the brewing. Is that what that is at burning?
They're making them smell.
I mean, I
farts.
love their beer and there's
Yes.
nothing bad to them, but is that what that is?
Well, what was the
It
beer?
is possible.
Yeah, what was the beer that we had all in kegs and we ended up putting it back in and farting it?
That was before my time. That was a seltzer.
Yeah.
That was
Mm.
Is that Pog?
yeah.
No.
No, that
Pog was a
was
lost cause.
I thought
Yeah,
Pog
that
was
one was-
good.
there
No?
was.
There's been like 7 versions of Pog.
That was
Most of them were good.
that was I think the Goza. It might have been the Goza.
And we put it back in and
We
farted it.
Wow.
The OG goes up.
Yeah.
So
Your OG goes
there's certain off flavors that we can fix and adjust.
Yeah.
And there's some flavors like no, we gotta dump it.
So clearly there's a lot of science behind this.
Well,
Like, I mean, I think people know that in general. Maybe if you're listening and you're a beer lover, there's a lot of science to making beer. So like, did you major in science? Like how does your brain just normally work
Right.
that way? Were you good at science in school? Like, what's that? What was
Yeah,
that
I was
like?
pretty good at math and science. So and then when I graduated high school, it was like it felt like you had to go to college or else you're a dummy. So
When did you graduate high school?
2006.
Oh, you're exactly my age. Okay.
So
So I'm a dummy.
so
Not do the college route.
I mean, I didn't want to be a dummy, so I went to college. I went in undeclared. I went to San Diego State University. Go Aztecs. I think those are just like the words that you like put together and you say.
Chat GPT that just now.
Brain just did it for him.
I went in undeclared, but I was like, yeah, I'm like pretty good at math and science, so I did mechanical engineering.
Oh, he is a freaking cheese.
In the spreadsheet,
Caylee's
that's the
spreadsheet.
whole thing. I got him a coffee cup that says "freaking the sheets" and it's like an entire Excel spreadsheet.
Oh my God, that's so
pretty
funny.
awesome.
He's amazing because yeah, we
His
have stuff
spreadsheets
like
are insane.
I need to do this, and I mean within 5 seconds, done. And I was like,
Wow.
I've
And
been
I feel
spending an
beautiful.
hour trying to figure this shit out.
Believe it or
He's like,
not, I
2
didn't
seconds.
learn any of that in college.
I was gonna say,
Doing mechanical engineering, but yeah.
no,
But we call him
I-
freaking the sheets.
Yes.
He gets it all done.
I feel like you were too smart for college. Is what I
Right?
feel like.
I like to party,
That's usually how it goes. Yeah.
so I partied a lot. You know,
Is that when you started making beer? 19. That's college days,
Did they
right?
drink your beer in college?
Did you like sell beer to make money on the side? Like how'd you do that?
we at one point we were going to brew beer to sell.
Oh, God.
All right, this is a pretty funny story.
Yes, we love a good story.
Trying to make it quick, but
It's fine. We got time.
so I mean, we were brewing. I think we had brewed like one good batch. We're like, oh shit, like let's scale this. So, and we're all like kind of, I don't know, business minded engineers. Like, all right, so we went down to Ballast Point. It's a brewery in San Diego,
I love that place.
and they had a homebrew mart, and we were, I think 19, maybe 20, probably 19. And we bought like 5 sets of like brewing kits. They're like buckets and it's just all this stuff. And I remember we were brewing like on a stove, and our goal was to brew beer pong beer. So like this maybe will translate into something we talk about later, but like wanted to brew beer pong beer, American light lager, just no flavor, just 4% alcohol, 5% alcohol, get you drunk, but we could play beer pong with. Our first batch of beer on the stove, doing the whole thing, get it into the fermenter, which was a bucket, and it has like I don't know what it's called. It's got like, what would you call
A
it?
little valve.
A valve or whatever, like you can open it, like
Part of it.
let the wort or beer out. Well, we filled it up the bucket, and we're in an apartment, and the valve just like flies off
Oh no.
and just empties onto the carpet. And we're like, well, I guess we're done brewing.
So your carpet just like smelled like beer. Like, did you get your deposit?
Yes.
It?
There's there's probably a 20-year period where we didn't get deposits back. Just for various reasons. But no, but it was funny because like we had bought like 5 sets of these things, and we had brewed one batch, and we're like, nah. This ain't it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So I want to know about your beer pong experience, your
Yeah.
business.
Oh
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
I know, well,
Tell
cause
us-
we,
oh.
I know, we did one little fake, we wanna have what did we do, like Sunday?
Like back
fun
to
day?
college
Yeah, back
night.
to college night,
At
and we
LogOff?
did, oh, it was
It's
so
pretty fun.
fun.
I missed it.
Yeah, we did that, we need to do that again, that was a good time.
Yeah.
How long, and how did that get started?
Okay, so it's 21. Me and my buddy. All right. Sorry, I haven't told the story in a while. Let's go back to like 19. We started hanging out with the rugby guys. So the SDSU rugby guys. Never played beer pong before in my life. I didn't drink a lot in high school, like once or twice, like kind of thing. Even freshman year of college, the first semester, I drank like once or twice. And then we started hanging out with the rugby guys, I think into freshman year. And they drank. Believe it or not.
Well, I feel like when you're
and-
that age, you don't want to try beer. You want to like drink like vodka.
Yeah,
like
and so
tequila,
when we
or
did drink it,
something.
we'd like, we're
Right,
drinking like vodka or whatever. But yeah, we'd go to their house, and they were right down the road, like half a mile away. So we'd walk over there from our dorm and play beer pong like on a closet door on the shopping cart, like as one does.
Of course,
Heyo.
they took the closet door off and made it.
Yeah, and then like 2 shopping carts. I mean, they put the
And it was probably like painted and shit.
Awesome.
So that was the first time ever playing beer pong, and we were off. Just awful. Okay, so year or so later, we're 21 now, and we wanted to go. Me and my buddy wanted to join a league. We joined a league. It was super fun. There was like, I don't know, 20 people maybe at this cool little dive bar. They had $4 pitchers of beer, and we just get hammered for like $10.
It was like.
And
Where are we going?
And then we wanted to start our own thing. So, I mean, not too long after, maybe like, I think we were probably 22. We started our own league and we started a couple venues. The business people that we were like, hey, like, we're gonna bring a bunch of people in. We're gonna bring like 40 people in on a Tuesday night. You guys are slow as fuck. We're gonna bring 40 people in. Give us a space. Next week though, we want money. But this week we'll do it for free. Next week we want money. And we did that at 10 or so places. Half of them were like, hell no, we're not giving you any money. Half of them like, you know what? These kids fucking. And so we ran that for like 10 years. And
10 years?
Yeah, I was
Really good.
girl. I mean, as a 20, let's say 25-year-old,
Okay.
paying $400 a month for rent.
Yeah.
I mean, the other expenses a 25-year-old has.
Video games.
You're not wrong. It's probably at least 20% of.
Not beer, they make it up there.
Yeah. Well, and I drink for free because I'm at the venue.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I was bringing in like $4 or $5 grand a month.
Wow.
Working about 20 hours a week.
What
Hanging
do?
out with my friends.
And doing what you are good at.
That is
Playing
so
beer pong.
cool. Playing
Well,
beer
no,
pong.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I didn't really play beer pong. I was just
Running it,
Promoting it.
hosting it.
promoting it, hosting it. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, hang on. So when you applied at LogOff, got your job at LogOff, did they know any of this? Did you tell them any of this? Like, because that's a huge background to have.
Wow.
I don't know about LogOff, but Old Republic was the first
okay.
job I got when I came up to Sacramento.
Okay.
I definitely told them. And that's what I got hired as a social media manager,
Oh,
even though I didn't want to do that.
you're like, whatever, I'm in.
But it was like,
Yeah.
it was like my biggest like selling point. I was like, yeah, I used to run this thing, promotions company, blah, blah, blah.
But really in the background, you're like, you made the beer and all that stuff. Yeah. Like the,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was your first official.
So, all right. So actually to that interview, now
Yeah.
that I think about it, I did. So I've always brought this to every interview. I bring a case of my own homebrew.
Yeah, and perfect, as you should.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I remember in the interview, they're like, wow, nobody's like brought beer to an interview. And they're like, this is actually kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then obviously they're, for good reason, they were very skeptical. And then they tried the beer. They're like, these are fine.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
But they still hired you on just as like a social media, like the first.
But
one.
they, they, I think, saw potential.
Yeah.
And they quickly, I mean, with that company, I did a lot. I did sales. I became the taproom manager there. I did some promotion. I actually brought in the cornhole guys that actually still run cornhole events at Movement.
oh, that is insane.
That is so funny. It's so
It
fun
is.
to watch.
It is insane,
Yeah.
that world.
Yeah.
Those
They've been
people
in
are
matching
crazy.
uniforms and
Oh yeah.
rolling duffel bags.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they go crazy.
Yeah. I walk in, I'm like, God, why is it so crowded here? I'm like, oh, it's cornhole night. That's
I mean,
what-
let's go to Vegas and like, that's a thing.
yeah, it's
Cornhole's
crazy.
Huge.
Like beer pong.
ESPN.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Has it made
Almost,
it to
almost as big as beer pong.
Has it made it to ESPN cornhole?
Oh yeah.
Do we know? Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's on
That's
ESPN.
crazy.
Wow.
Like
We watch
like-
that shit on Sundays when we're bartending.
Wow. So, okay, so tell me, when you were our beer tender, because
Yeah.
it was Wednesday nights, you and Kat, and then what made, like, were you like poking the bear with Jim, saying, I wanna get back there, I wanna help you, I wanna be like, teach me your
That's a
way,
good
like,
question.
how did you get to be his assistant?
No, I like making money.
Why? So you don't wanna make beer for free?
So
Yeah.
yeah. So typically, like assistant brewers, I mean, the brewery industry like is tough. Most assistant brewers make a little bit more than minimum wage. So as a bartender, you're making minimum wage plus
Tips.
a decent amount, and LogOff we did pretty good. So for a long time, like I really couldn't afford to take that role in the back of the house. But I did have a relationship with Jim where you know, he
Can we
thought
explain who Jim is really quick for our listeners?
Jim is the head brewer. He opened LogOff Brewing with Matt,
co-owner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So co-owner, he started brewing there, and then I took over last year. So he was the head brewer for 2.5 years. So what was I saying?
Getting it like.
Well, getting back, like,
Yeah.
how did you get back there, and what
All right,
happened?
so
like,
Leading
yeah.
up to the
So,
day where you brought us, you're like, here, try this. I made it. Just we're like, what? We're like, you
so
made this.
Jim, I mean, from when I got hired, Jim had known that, you know, I've been a home brewer. I bring him my stuff regularly, like, hey, try it. Like, what can I do better? Like, what do you get? Like, what can I do? And he trusted me with, you know, a lot of, he would ask me like, hey, what do you think we should do here? You know, me as just a bartender, like, hey, like this beer, like, what do you think it needs? You need more fruit, or it needs this, it needs that. So he was very open with me and really took my feedback, which was very cool. He didn't have to. So that's kind of how I got in, and then eventually I saw an opportunity where I wanted to grow my understanding of the back of the house. So I was able to do about 20 hours a week bartending, just to actually make some money, and then 20 hours a week of assistant brewing. So I did that, and that was awesome. I just had my son, so that was a chaotic time.
Yeah.
With a couple month-year-old and
Brand new
baby, bartending, brewing, assistant brewing. But it worked out very well for me, and it kind of led into me being promoted to the head brewer.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when he brought beer to us, I remember looking at you like, you made this? Like, what? It was like, yeah, but
beer on Wednesday nights.
yeah, no, but like, I just, no one know, you don't know what you don't know. You didn't know either.
And just us
Yeah.
going and playing trivia and
Yeah, exactly.
drinking there, and then now working there and watching the crazy behind the scenes stuff. Like, Kenny and I, every day he comes in and we pour off of every single fermenter and taste everything and make sure everything is good and doesn't have any off flavors. And he's taught me, like, okay, so taste this. Do you taste? And then he'll name the off flavors, and you're like, no, or you're like, ooh, okay, I kind of like, and then you know how to mix stuff to fix it. So
yeah. So my other question is, so you clearly, like, obviously you educate like your coworkers too, because when you're back there pouring the beer, like, and especially like, let's say I'm a customer, let's say I'm like new to the beer world, and I walk up and I'm like, I don't know what to get, like, I just want something, I don't know, I want something light or whatever, like, or I always walk up, I'm so lazy, I'll go to a new brewery that I've never been to and be like, what kind of hazy you got? Like, I don't even look at the menu, like, I'm so lazy, I'll just be, and they'll
everyone else.
okay, okay, so everyone does that.
Yes.
What do you know that tasty? You're like,
so do you have to any new hires you guys have or whatever? Do you go with all the beer? Do you go over the beers with them just to educate them? Because clearly whoever's behind the counter there has to like know what to suggest, and like, this is this flavor, this is a better, this is a lighter blonde, this is a bit like, how do they know all that, or how does that work?
I really appreciate it when I would encourage all the bartenders to at least try every one of our beers and kind of have a general understanding what it is. Anytime we come out with a new beer, I shoot out a little blurb to everybody like, hey, for example, this is the Blanched Rancho. It's a wit beer. It's from Belgium. If somebody's looking for a Hefeweizen, like, this might be one that they might be interested in. So kind of give them some like more backstory of like, hey, if somebody comes in, they're like, I like Hefeweizen, and we're like, well, we don't have one. Well, look, this might fit into like what they're looking for, even though it isn't a Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
So, and kind of help them out. Another thing we haven't really mentioned yet is for the person coming in and like, hey, I just like hazies, or we have plenty of people that come in and like, I don't like beer.
That's my favorite thing.
I love that.
I-
They're so
that is-
easy.
I love that too.
It's something like you're like, oh, you don't, perfect.
Great.
What
I
is
got
it?
21 options for you. Let's
We're-
go. It's Baskin Robbins this shit.
Yeah.
I like to have variety.
Yeah.
So I want to have something for everyone.
Yes.
So if you
That's
come in, you don't like beer, we probably have 3 things or 4
And then
things.
my favorite thing to do is go, and guess what? You're drinking a beer. Like that is beer. They're what? Like,
So even like a seltzer, like,
Yeah.
because you guys make seltzers,
Yep.
those which are.
I mean, I don't tell them that's
Seltzers.
beer, but like our
Yeah,
walker
yeah.
and stuff like that, that's
Yeah.
beer.
yeah.
Yeah, you just have them try it.
So
and then-
you just make.
Or like I only like browns or like I only like reds. And most breweries don't have those. We're like, yeah, we got 2.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
How,
fun.
yeah. What is your favorite beer?
Ooh, I can say.
I can say favorite like
I can say.
style,
Which,
but like
What's your go?
what do you drink the most of?
Right now, Italian stallion.
Oh shit, you drink.
it's not
German
called that,
stuff.
but order
German
it like
style-
that.
oh,
I drink a lot of seltzer.
He likes light shit.
Lights, yeah.
Like stuff, yeah.
Well, our LogOff
Loggers.
is, yeah, the
I've been drinking
loggers.
Log Off Light. I've been drinking a lot of OK Shakespeare. I drink a decent amount of that.
Here's another question, just and I've always wondered how do you know the alcohol percentage or like how do you control that?
Right.
Like when they're like when
That
when
is
it's
so
on the board.
important.
Okay, so hang on. So sorry, this is a two-sided question because otherwise I'm gonna forget. So when you look at the board and you see, I'm just gonna say hazy lazy, whatever, because that's my favorite, one of my favorites. And it says, I'm just making up a percent. I don't know if this is true. I don't know.
Get it
7%.
right. That's
8%?
close.
Is it 9? No,
6.7.
There was a hazy that was like 10% one time. I was like, holy shit. Okay. So, but hazy, 6 point whatever percent, but then it has ABV, that number. Explain the alcohol percent, like how you determine that, and what is ABV?
AB.
IBU. You're thinking IBU.
Shit, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
IB, whatever.
Yeah.
The two numbers that are on there, like,
Go
can you
ahead, Kenny.
explain those?
So ABV, alcohol by volume. We use a clever little calculation.
Is that percentage?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So that's the same thing as percentage. I was saying.
Yeah.
the
So
same. Okay, sorry, you're right.
ABV and then IB is.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So we take the sugar content
Mhm.
before and the sugar content after. So basically, the yeast consumes the sugars, creates alcohol and CO2. So a beer starts, as Caylee knows, the wort is very sugary and delicious.
Yummy.
And then once it's done, it tastes awful and it tastes like beer.
Bitter and shit.
So the sugars before and then the sugars after, there's a calculator of like how much alcohol was created basically through that process.
Is that your little thingy that you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got like
He's got
two
Is it like a
and a
trash
little-
can?
Toys, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you have,
Full
you
toys.
have measurement tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Back
that's
in
the
science.
ABV.
ABV, IBU is it's just a straight calculation on software. It's sort of accurate. I don't have the tools required to give you a proper IBU, but for most customers, it's basically an idea of like, is this a hoppy beer? Is this a lighter beer?
So so the lower the number, the less
Yes.
hoppier.
Yes.
Correct.
And the higher the,
And
what's
the
the
more
highest
yummy it
number? What is it on
Uh,
a scale of what to what?
Infinite.
Oh geez.
But I think after like 100 and
100,
something,
it doesn't
your
matter.
palate can't taste it anymore.
What is, okay,
I
so
think
a
the highest
base,
we've had on there has been 100.
100.
a basic light beer, like a blonde, what IBU around?
Log Off Light is 8 IBUs.
8 IBUs. Okay, and then what about like a dark, like the German Spy or whatever dark. what
German
would that
Spy is
be?
only like, isn't it in the
German
20s?
Spy is in the 20 or 30s.
Okay.
Because he likes
But-
to.
So
dry hop.
something to clarify,
Yes.
just because the IBU number is low doesn't mean there isn't a lot of hops. So your hazy IPAs, we use a ton of hops, but we use them cold side. So when they're used warm side or hot side, you're extracting more of the bitterness, the alpha acids. So for your hazies, we actually cool it way down and then we add a ton of hops. So you get all the flavor aroma, but you don't get the bitterness.
So
That's why you like the hazies, is
So
because you.
Hazy
Okay.
Lazy Days is I think 22 IBUs, which is less than
oh, that's
German Spy,
interesting. Okay, interesting.
which uses like 10% as much
Gotcha.
hops. pop
Yeah.
matter.
I don't know why I like a friend introduced me to hazies way back in the day, and I just haven't looked
They're
back.
like the,
So I don't know why.
they're like the
I like them so
introductory
much.
to IPAs.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's why. Like it's for me, like
They're
I
not bitter, they're
Yeah.
a little sweeter,
There's
and they have
flavor.
tons of flavor.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you get the smell, but I love the
She still doesn't like it, but-
smell of hops, but the taste, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
And
they love
the smelling clock out.
Oh,
Like,
God, and we were
Absolutely.
hopping
This
hazy
is West
lazy,
Coast IPA.
opening,
It's a bomb IPA, but I can't.
opening the
I can't do
bags
that.
of hops. Oh my God, they smell so good, but as soon as you taste it, it makes my jaw hurt.
Oh my God.
It's so gross.
What is your favorite part about being a head brew master, a professional scientific beer maker?
Yeah. Your cool staircase that you get to go up.
All right, I'm gonna give you, I was trying to think of something funny and clever, but I'm not very clever.
Oh,
Uh,
he's knee deep in that beer over there.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm gonna say the flexibility. So I have a 1.5-year-old son. The flexibility of being a brewer is amazing. You know, if a babysitter can't come, I can stay at home with Adam and I can come in at 10 p.m. It doesn't matter, like I can brew at 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. It doesn't matter. It's the same as brewing at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I would say the flexibility is the best thing.
And he's
then I'll-
very, very blessed with his situation because he is one of the brewers that I have seen in my world of travel of all of these, that board is insane. Like you don't go to a brewery and see the
It's a lot.
variety
Mhm.
that he is given the flex. I mean, we have a beer. I'll be nice. That is,
Nowhere.
Yeah.
to me, which I'm not allowed to say
It's a great
anymore, when we pour it, I
It's
have
a
to
great
let them
label, too.
taste it first.
Solid.
To me, it tastes like feature.
AI.
But I mean, yeah, it has a cool label. Some people love it, but it is a very unique beer where most are like, no, because it's not gonna sell fast. They wanna make it sell and do, where he gets to play with all the crazies and he really has.
It sells really well as a michelada.
Yeah,
It does.
it's pretty good.
Yes.
I keep getting people are like, can we
Give me the
do
smoky-
that?
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
get a
Meat.
smoky
The
meat?
smoky
And I'm
meat.
like, hell yeah, you can have 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then
So,
oh yeah, your board is always full. Like
Yes.
there's a lot
Too
of
full.
variety. Too full.
It
to
hit-
move stuff.
We
Yeah.
added a new
We
row
have
since
a
he
whole new
started,
room since he started.
and we always have some hanging off the side.
Yeah, we have
So
2 on the
our
side.
board used to have 20, now it has 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
But also we have 26 beers on, so we have.
Okay, and then how
26
long? Okay,
beers.
the big old barrels in the back. Like
Yeah,
that's my favorite part about going to a brewery. I'm like barrels.
Okay, wait,
Like,
are you talking about the barrels that have beer in it, or are you talking about the
yes,
the
Yes.
tanks?
that's what she's
No,
talking
the
maybe
barrel.
or
No,
maybe
she's talking about
maybe the tanks. I don't know. What's the
I-
difference?
Tanks are the big metal thing.
Are you
So what
talking about
what ones are the metal ones?
I just-
What are metal?
the big tanks, the
The
giant.
tanks.
Okay, okay.
That's what
She's like,
I
I know
forgot,
what she's
I was
talking
like,
about.
barrels.
I forgot how I was gonna word this question, but how okay, this is what I was gonna say. The tank, how long does that like how often do you make a new batch of beer, I guess? Like how
the
All right,
depends on-
what you have right
How long
now.
does it
What do you
last?
have available? How many
Okay.
tanks? What are your tank sizes?
That's
No, I'm
obnoxious.
just like-
That's an obnoxious question.
Since where she's going,
Okay.
so he's got,
I have a 10-barrel system, which is 310 gallons.
Hmm.
So that's how much I can brew at a time. I have 4 10-barrel tanks, 2 20-barrel tanks, and 2 30-barrel tanks. So for those 30-barrel tanks, think of that as 3 brew days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, brewing into that same tank. Or if it's seltzer, it's like 1 day.
It's like 1 hour.
so seltzers are quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
Okay.
seltzers.
Nice.
solid brew.
so, but
day.
he can put stuff in there and keep that, it's its own refrigeration system.
So
Okay,
we
so
have
He
u-
doesn't fill it and dump it,
Right.
he can
we
stay
have
there.
uni tanks.
Yeah.
So basically it can stay there for a long time,
Nice.
months.
Okay.
And it'll keep it at temperature, it'll keep it under carbonation.
How often are you rotating like new flavors? like him
all
now.
the time.
Constantly.
He is constant.
Yeah, I am fortunate in my situation that I get to be creative and have a lot of fun and brew a lot of stuff. Not anything against other breweries, but a lot of other breweries have distribution, and they have basically contracts that they have to fulfill. Like they have to have their Hazy Lazy Days, their Walker Texas, their whatever.
Right.
Half their board is like, no, these need to go to other accounts. We're pretty much 99% in-house for right now. So I like to keep our mainstays, our core beers on, but like there's a lot of wiggle room for doing interesting, fun stuff, and hopefully that's what our customers appreciate.
What is our latest collab with Mindscape? Which one? Talk about that one.
Shovey.
Mindscape, you said?
Yeah.
It's another good
So
one.
a
Yeah.
new collab with Mindscape
Where's that one?
Fermentations.
Where's that one?
Up in
located?
Rockland,
Rockland, that's right.
California.
Yes,
Yeah.
They're amazing. We love them.
Plug
Very
Mindscape.
fun.
Look at, we're plugging other breweries.
Oh, yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
We just brewed Ranchovy.
Now,
That's what you named it? I didn't know that.
Ranch.
And I love that.
No, it's
Okay.
actually
There's a story.
Matt brought it up and was like, yeah.
That's
it's
fucking hilarious.
So, all right, I'm also trying to I'm trying to condense these stories. So we're using anchovy hops from Seagull Ranch.
Her face.
right?
Anchovy
right?
hops. Okay.
Anchovy
I can't
hops.
tell.
That's just what they're called.
Their flavor profile is like watermelon, lime zest, lemon zest. It's fire.
It's so
But they
amazing.
named it anchovy.
Anchovy.
Why?
Right?
So
That's so
they're
funny.
all right. I'm gonna butcher the story, but another brewery that happened to be like a pizza spot as well contracted the farm to brew hops for them. So they got to like name the hops. So they named them like pepperoni, anchovy. I like to think that they named it anchovy because it was such a good hop that they're like, I don't want anybody else using this.
They're
Oh my gosh,
so
that's
good.
funny. Yeah.
That
We
beer
got
is
our
so-
hands, thanks
so
to
good.
Hollanderry and Sons. Thank you very much.
Nice.
We got our hands on a 11-pound bag of anchovy hops.
No.
44 pounds next year.
Ooh.
Really? Oh, it's so good.
Through my
This
chip.
beer is so good. I just
Yakima.
tasted it.
Yeah, come on.
How long is it?
I like saying that.
A week?
A week. Like,
Oh my gosh. He let me taste it yesterday. I was like,
So
This is
breweries,
fire.
they sell their own hops. Some of them, or is it just
we can
Mindscape?
buy them.
Okay.
We just work together
Oh,
on
no.
the recipe.
Yeah.
Basically.
We were together the recipe and then you buy your product. Your
Right.
hops you have to
From
buy
like
from
hot
a hop farm.
farms.
We actually went to a
Oh.
hop farm.
They had
Yes.
raccoons.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, they had a raccoon. But we
Hop
actually
farms.
did, for the first time, he did a wet hop recipe where we actually got, because they get the wet hop and then they dry it, make it look like little pebbles.
Uh-huh.
Well, they didn't. We actually got the actual cool little plant of hops and you rub it and smell it and it's so cool.
That is so cool.
So we actually did a recipe with the not dried hop, the actual wet hop. So it was pretty cool.
There's so much to learn here.
There-
about making beer.
It's
insane.
mind blowing.
It's insane.
Yeah,
You-
he's
well,
a
you,
little chemist.
yeah, well, I was gonna say, you too, Nicole and Haley, you guys are probably, Nicole and Haley, you guys have learned a lot.
Oh,
Like,
I knew
Yeah.
nothing about
Yeah.
beer. a
We
year
drank it.
ago.
yeah,
Her and I, we came
I
in just
barely
drinking
drank
it.
it.
And that's why listening to
Yeah.
him, and sometimes I'll stick around for this. Sometimes you're just like,
yeah,
it's so much, but yeah, he's a little scientist. It's amazing.
just comes naturally to your brain, huh?
Well, and he
He's
just
like,
did it, he
no.
just did a round.
You have to learn a lot of
Yeah.
this shit.
We did,
Well, he understands it clearly.
well, and we do all the brew fest and all
I
that fun
pretend
stuff.
to understand it.
Oh, whatever.
He ChatGPT's his
Whatever.
favorite.
So he went to Colorado to a competition and then he flew over to Yakima, which for your Hazy Lazy, just got a contract with a hop farm. So now your hazy will always taste the same for a year. because we'll have.
For about 6 months, because I'm probably gonna brew so much. But
Wow.
Yeah, so we contracted to have the hops. We actually have a plot.
we actually have like a plot of land at a farm, like that. We're gonna get.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
that cool?
That's so
Pretty
cool. Big things happening for
Yeah.
LogOff.
Oh, it's huge.
Wow.
Huge.
What is okay, so tell us, what beer are you conjuring up right now? Like, what
So
are you
today I
working
just
on
started
now?
the process of brewing a juice runner, which is a tangerine, mango, vanilla, lactose sour. It's it was my favorite sour that LogOff has ever done under Jim. So we're bringing it back.
Now, how sour is it? Because I like a good sour, but if it's too sour, I'm like, I can't do
It
it.
wasn't too sour.
It's
We
no,
just had
no.
We
Couple
have
weeks
so
ago.
good. And it's so like there's some where you're just like, oh my gosh,
Like-
how do you
like
drink
the-
this?
like the-
It's too
Well,
thick
at
or
Movement,
too-
I literally like when the Whip Wrangler comes back at Movement, I
It's
go
there.
there.
It's back.
Because
It's back.
I know, I was there, yeah. I got them. Well, yeah, I had two of them.
Bitch, go right now.
Let's
Stop.
we're going to
Yeah.
movement. Get some whip Wrangler.
Well, like, so to me, that is my level of, that's the most sour I will do.
Yeah.
So
This will right in your palate. This is
Same
the
thing.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
good.
We'll
It's
see.
very good.
we'll see, yeah.
We'll see.
Juice.
So
right?
It's too sour
it's
for y'all.
literally
I don't
souring
salt
right
it.
now as we are
It's
speaking.
I know, and tomorrow I get to cut up all of the vanilla.
So.
Oh,
I've
I
seen you
know, I
cut
was
it-
supposed to do that yesterday.
Oh,
I've
by
seen-
the way, already did half the vanilla.
Did he do it right?
Yes, he did.
Did you watch him?
Yes.
Does Josh
Okay.
listen to this podcast?
I'm very, very over the top with my vanilla cutting because I need to make
He
sure.
did a
it's
good
done.
job.
Okay.
Good job, Josh.
Good job, Josh.
Now
I see
Josh
you make
has
sure
to
he's doing it right.
Tell Josh we mentioned you.
No,
Yeah,
no,
listen
no,
for
Josh.
He'll listen for an hour. No, I know. I know. That's what I mean. Yeah, you're
yes.
Josh. Yeah. Oh yeah. The
Yes.
Connectable Josh is gonna edit this and hear this whole thing.
Oh,
but-
good lord.
You're Josh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so happy. He's so sad he missed this. So
Because he cares so much about beer. He doesn't drink at
No.
all.
no, but he's happy to have you on.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny. Kenneth, do people call you Kenneth or is it just Kenny?
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
James.
J. Terry the third.
That's
Tommy would call
I just
me.
said
He
it.
hasn't told me that in a while.
Yeah.
actually.
Are you the third?
I think
No,
it's-
no. One day was like J. Terry the third, and I was like, is that his name? I don't think
It's
so.
been a while. I think
It's
I
been a
ele-
minute.
I think I elevated in his like book.
Wow.
Wow.
You're no longer
You're like
J.
you're
Terry the third.
And he just Kenny. Kenny.
It's so cool that you like just hearing your story, like starting at like, okay, it started when I was 19 and just made beer at home and then leading
Trying
up to the
Kill
beer.
myself.
Yeah, we made poison at home and then, leading up to like your beer pong stories with the beer on the carpet and then the business and then how you got into the brew world by being a social media marketing manager and now here you are, master brewer, head scientific extraordinaire. Yeah.
I love how his face changed every word you said. As you kept going, we got a different expression.
This is when I wish we would record on the too.
That was perfect.
Watch that whole thing.
Yeah. It's a pretty wild ride.
What? I
I
can't.
feel very fortunate. I think I've lucked into a lot of things, but at the same time, you make your own luck, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So you put yourself in, good positions and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I've been very lucky, regardless of that.
Well, your beer is excellent, of course. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
fine.
as evident by every time I go in there, you guys are packed every time I go in there. Everyone's
good
always
times.
in there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to be respectful of your time, as we always say towards the end of a podcast, even though we can go on
I got
forever.
another 3 hours.
No, I got some more. We got some more here in the fridge. Are there any
Well, it's gonna be like a Joe Rogan where we go like 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all right, guys, we gotta stop.
Josh and I have been talking about doing a Joe Rogan style
Like a 6 hour, like save our.
Oh yeah,
prayers.
we probably could. Yeah, and like right here, the four of us could
Oh,
probably
God.
do it right now. Yeah, so
So many things to talk about.
Oh, on and on. Yeah.
Well, I would like to talk, like, do you guys have anything, like, what's going on in your world?
My world, real easy, we wanna open that can.
Yeah.
Let's open it. Fuck it.
This is now transitioning into not here to judge.
Yeah. We can stop the podcast now. So this is part one.
Here's the promo. Here's the promo.
And-
For me starting back up on my other
I'm gonna-
podcast that I haven't done in a while.
That
know.
one.
To,
We need to do the recap.
yeah,
We do.
of where we're at from
Okay.
our.
That one would be fucking
Right.
crazy.
From Europe, you mean?
Yes,
I
here we
know.
are now, a year later,
A year later.
because
Well,
we're
I didn't
all
even-
somewhere different.
I know. So if I mean, if anyone listening, okay, so yeah, I have. There's not here to judge. I haven't done that in a while, but I never even posted our meeting. So we met up at LogOff
Yes.
and we did a recap of Europe.
Yeah.
So I didn't post that because, well, I listened to it and I'm like, there's so many noises going on in the background. I am not good at editing at all. That's Josh's arena.
Did
I'm
you
just like,
post the ones that we recorded in Europe?
here? No, because they're still on my phone because I did it. Well,
It's not
because
rough.
listen, no, someone's got to help
2
me.
years ago.
I know someone's got to help me because I do it on GarageBand on my
I have one
MacBook,
that's
Yes.
but I do it. So I
I
did it on
forward
GarageBand
it.
on my phone,
I went shopping.
and I didn't know how to. Anyway, everyone's listening to 4 different conversations. Why is this
I was trying to be
an
kind.
issue?
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
I need to figure out how to get it on Garage. We'll talk, but I
Okay.
can't. I've tried forever. I promise you, and I couldn't figure out how to get it on, like how to edit it from GarageBand. It was a mess. So I got to figure it out. But anyway, but are there, so Nicole and Caylee, are there any, is there like one more question or any last questions you want to ask? Kenny, even though you see him all the time, every day.
Don't you know, our manager?
Yeah,
She's
you
doing
guys, no, you guys, you loaded some pretty sweet questions. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Is there any other thing you want to tell our listeners, like any last tidbit of like, I don't know, whatever you want. Usually this is this is when I ask like what inspirational thing do you have? Because there are some people who are listening who like maybe have an idea or like doubting themselves of like, hey, I'm really good at this, but I don't know if that's gonna work, so I'm doing this instead. And I hate my job. Yeah.
Life's too
So
hard. Try it, see what happens.
there we go. Nicole answered it.
Hey, don't kill yourself. He's tried to poison himself for years and he's still living.
Still trying.
Heyo.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, just fucking be nice to people
Oh, okay, that's a good
in
one.
general.
Just be nice.
Be
Love it.
nice.
And trust yourself, trust your gut.
Mhm.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have fun, you just.
We're having fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we always have fun. And yeah, this whole weird beer world, it's just, Kenny and I were talking because we started at the brewery. And I think our first thing that we actually did together was a brew fest. And that's like, go do this brew fest. And him and I worked together and now,
She's like, this is so much fun. I'm like, this sucks.
and now we've done tons of them. And they're so fun. We have such a good time. Like our tent is always the best.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just,
Good.
yeah, we have beer, we have silly music and we have a good time. Like, yeah.
We've
Love it.
got a Mac Dre playlist and we
Yes.
just go.
We always have a good time.
Love it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do like whatever you want, man.
do whatever you want. Be nice, have
Yeah.
fun,
Yes.
play good music.
Yes.
Do whatever you want. I love it.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do I live by?
Drink beer.
Drinking beer. If you
Drink
haven't,
beer.
so you heard it from the man himself. If you have not tried the beer, you got to try beer. Come to LogOff. And
Oh, yeah.
they'll pour you something that you might like.
Or just tell us you don't like beer and
They'll
let
give you
us,
something.
yeah,
We'll just find.
Yeah.
let us find something for you, because that is
Hey,
our job.
I will say this, beer is what got me to Europe. Y'all convinced me to sign up when I was like,
I didn't even know you were.
beer,
We were sitting at the table next to you and I was like, you should go to Europe.
yeah.
And you were like, hold on, let me check my finances. And
was
we
like, no,
went,
oh, I don't want to babysit.
Poor Nicole didn't want
they
any of-
babysat the two of us.
They did.
God.
Okay, that's a whole nother, we'll get that on. We'll get that on that one. So stay tuned
Yes.
for.
By the way, Tommy, if you're still listening after 2 hours, Hamilton's pretty fire.
Yeah.
I love the art for Hamilton. That's just
What did I drink?
funny.
So Hamilton is from Movement. What did I
Money
drink?
is his best.
Weird Ale Dankovich.
That was good. So
Also
Also from the
pretty fire.
big
Nah.
fire.
I like the Uncle Money and,
Look at money's mouth.
oh, and Art's new concoction.
The art special.
The art special.
And of course, the whip wrangler. It's my
Yeah.
Whip Wranglers.
We did whip
I
wrangler
literally-
with their seltzer.
I will have friends text me saying whip wranglers come to, I'm at Movement and whip wranglers here.
Yeah,
Like you
it'll
better
be gone
come over
tomorrow.
here.
Yeah. It's-
Yeah, I know, it was gone, they leave and then I don't know when they're coming back.
Yeah.
I should have
Gotta
bought
yell at
cans.
Tommy.
I know, I should have
That's
bought
what we
cans
do.
last time.
Just
Yeah.
text them.
All right, so part 2,
Part 2,
how you doing?
moving on to me. Stay
What's
tuned
new?
for the next episode of Not Here to Judge. What's new? Lots is new. My massage business is new. I'm still
Yeah.
learning everything. Yes, I have
It's like a mermaid massage.
mermaid
So-
therapy. I don't know. I'm just what of course,
That's so
mermaid.
you though.
don't
I
know what
loved
else-
it.
I don't know what else to call it. I'm like, what? And and here's the thing: you Google business names, right? And you're like, who does not have this name? And I don't know. I guess no one had mermaid therapy. There was like a mobile mermaid massage that I found. There was mermaid massage therapy, and no one had mermaid therapy that I could look up. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking it. So
Good
yeah.
girl.
Anyway, so that's good.
Doing big things.
I'll talk about that on Not Here
How long
to
you been doing it?
I just got certified. So
Oh, you did?
well, I just got, yeah, I'm officially certified. So, but
Yeah.
before that, I've been practicing since April. So April, May, June. So like 6 months. I've been doing it for 6 months now.
You do mobile?
Yeah, I'm strictly mobile. Yeah. Yep. So
What are your
I'm
rates?
mobile. You gotta follow me. Plug at mermaid.therapy. Yeah. But speaking of plugs, okay, where can our listeners find you? Like what's the LogOff Instagram? And you don't have to plug your personal information if you don't want, but like where
Oh,
can listeners?
At LogOff Brewing.
Perfect.
Rancho Cordova.
Yeah.
We're
Sunrise.
fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine.
So-
We're fine.
They're in the
You
Sacramento. area.
probably like our beer. Okay.
Yeah. You heard it from,
He's there every day.
okay. You heard it
And
from.
yeah.
I'm
that's the-
definitely not there. every day.
No, he's not. Your ass is there every day.
Yeah.
there.
Either I will be there or Nicole will be there. That's a fact.
Either way, you get good beer and then you get entertainment.
You
If
get
Nicole and Caylee are there. so.
Entertainment. either way.
Yes.
There were.
And then I'll be there
but it's
occasionally.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kenny, for coming on for your first podcast ever.
My first podcast ever. You made it so easy.
Yeah. That's
You
what
asked
we
such good questions. Legitimately.
Thanks. do.
Questions.
That's what we do. I mean, we just drink beer and ask questions. That's it.
Easy.
That's what I do behind the camera every day. And just Josh knows sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got
This was a lot of
container of
Thank you
alcohol.
very much. I got in a couple clever things and then I told some truths
Yeah, great. Love it.
every once in a while.
We got some truths. We got some funnies.
Yeah, I think it was pretty all right.
Right.
And then Nicole and Caylee, thank you for co-hosting with me.
Of course.
Appreciate you too. That was fun. And if you're in the Sacramento area, stop by at LogOff Brewing, or if you're going to visit Sacramento, LogOff
Yes, come and see
Brewing,
us.
LogOff. All right. Well, thank you so much. And we are going to log off now so that we can drink some more. So
Thank you.
thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable podcast.